All right, welcome. In today's explainer, we're going to break down the essential toolkit for a modern bug bounty hunter. But we're going way beyond just a simple list of software. We're going to get into the strategy, the mindset, and what really separates the top-tier hackers from everyone else.
And this quote right here, it's the perfect place to start because it just hits the nail on the head. Hacking is not a static thing. Your tools, your techniques, your whole approach, it's all going to change and evolve as you get more experience. And you know what? It absolutely should.
Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to start with the one tool you literally cannot hack without, the absolute foundation. We're talking about a proxy. This is the bedrock of everything you're going to do in web security. So, think of a proxy like your mission control center. Every single request your browser shoots out, every response a server sends back, it all flows right through this tool. This is where you get to see everything, mess with the requests, inject your payloads, and really start to poke and prod for those little cracks that lead to big vulnerabilities.
Now, what's so interesting here is how much the game has changed. For the longest time, Burp Suite was the name, right? The undisputed king. But it's expensive. The expert's choice right now is shifting towards Kaido. And it's not just because it's cheaper, but because it's built around the community, with tons of hackers building cool stuff for it. And of course, if you're just starting out, Zap is a killer free option to get your feet wet.
All right, so you've got your proxy set up. What's next? Well, we're moving on to reconnaissance, or recon, as everyone calls it. And honestly, this is probably one of the most critical parts of your entire hacking process. And this slide right here just perfectly nails a massive misunderstanding about recon. A lot of people think it's just about, firing up some huge script and hoping it finds bugs for you. That's not it at all. Expert-level recon is more like intelligence gathering. You're strategically finding more places to look, more subdomains, more servers to expand your playground.
So how do we actually do that smart, strategic discovery? Well, the community's go-to tool hasn't really changed. It's SubFinder. It's built to do one thing really, really well: cast a super wide net and pull in subdomains from all over the internet into one clean list for you to work with. But here's the most important part, and you really got to listen to this. If you are running SubFinder straight out of the box without touching the config file, you are leaving so much on the table. The real power gets unlocked when you start plugging in API keys for services like Shodan, VirusTotal, all those. Every key you add is like adding a new, better type of bait to your fishing line. The more keys, the wider your net, the more fish you're going to catch. Simple as that.
So, you did your recon, you've got this massive list of subdomains. Awesome. Now what? What's actually on all those things? This next step is all about the methodical process of uncovering hidden pages, secret files, and forgotten endpoints.
See, a pro's approach isn't just firing shots in the dark. It's this tiered strategy. You start with the quick and dirty stuff, fuzzing with big word lists. Then you get a little smarter, and you look at what used to be there with historical analysis. And then, only if you're still coming up empty, you throw the Hail Mary pass, a full, deep crawl of the whole site. Now, for that first step, that initial fuzzing, FFF has always been the classic tool. It's simple, it's fast, it gets the job done. But the tool that's really picking up steam is GoBuster. Think about it like this. FFF is like a single, reliable arrow. GoBuster is more like a whole rack of specialized missiles, with modes built specifically for finding vhosts, S3 buckets, and more. That specialization is why it's becoming a new favorite. And this brings us to step 2, historical analysis, which is really all about this quote right here. Context. It's everything. When you find some weird old subdomain, you have to ask, why did this exist? What was it for? Understanding that why is how you find the good stuff.
And this is where a tool like Waymore is just an absolute game changer. It dives into web archives like the Wayback Machine and pulls out all these old, forgotten links and paths for your target. It can even download the old pages themselves, which might have leaked API keys or old JavaScript files that are just packed with hidden endpoints. It gives you that critical context.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. We've talked about finding stuff in general. Now let's get into the specialized tools for hunting those specific high-impact bugs. And we'll start with a fan favorite, blind cross-site scripting, or blind XSS.
For a long time, everyone used XSS Hunter, but that's gone now. So the new standard, and honestly, it's a way better approach, is to just self-host your own capture server. A tool like EasyXSS makes this super simple to set up, and it gives you total control over all your payloads and all your data. All right, Now let's talk about a tool that I bet almost all of you have, but maybe, just maybe, you're not using it to its full potential. I'm talking about nuclei, and I gotta ask you, are you really using it the right way?
Look, this is what most people do, right? You download all the community templates, and you just spray and pray. You run them against every target you find. The problem with that? You are running the exact same checks as thousands and thousands of other hunters. Your odds of finding something unique are just not great.
But the expert method, it's a whole different ballgame. It's all about making it your own. You go through the templates, you find the ones you actually like, and you give them your own custom tags. Then, you customize them. Add more paths, tweak the patterns. You can even use AI to create new variations. And the real pro move? Building workflows, where you chain templates together to automate these complex multi-step attacks that almost nobody else is even looking for.
And all of this, the proxies, the recon, building your own custom nuclei templates, it all leads us to the final, and I mean this, the single most important tool in your entire toolkit.
So look, the big takeaway here isn't about having the newest, flashiest tools. It's all about your mindset. The tools you pick, and more importantly, how you customize and use them, they're just a reflection of your own personal methodology. The most powerful tool isn't on your computer, it's your brain and your drive to always be learning and improving.
So as we wrap this up, I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. Take a hard look at your own toolkit, the software you use every day, your processes, your habits. Are you just using the defaults, or are you building something that is uniquely you? Your toolkit defines your approach. What does yours say about you?